The universe is incredibly vast and old. The human mind can never even imagine the extent of the universe. The universe is estimated to be 92 billion light-years in diameter and is still growing rapidly. There are still many unanswered questions in the universe, but a single one among them is not even within our grasp. It has become nearly 4.5 billion years since the universe came into existence. Life on Earth has been around for about 3.5 billion years. That is, life appeared on Earth in a span of about 1 billion years. Our Milky Way galaxy contains about 6 billion Earth-like planets. That means there are 6 billion planets in the habitable zone that are likely to sustain life. Most of these are older than Earth. If there is life on those planets, technically, they may be far ahead of us. But why aren't we still able to find them? Or why can't they find us? What if they have already found us by now? This is the second part of the Fermi paradox. If you have not seen the first part, please do watch that before watching this. So today, we are going to look at some of the reasons for the Fermi paradox. One of the reasons that we cannot detect their presence is the assumption that our existence itself might be a broad myth. That is, our world may be a computer simulation made by an advanced civilization. Since they are the ones who decide and enforce the rules and procedures here, we always have their perspective on us from outside a curtain. Therefore, we can never see them without their willingness. It is foolish to think that all living things in the universe should be the same as in the form we want them to be, because sometimes their physical structures are so different or similar that we don't even recognize them even if they come and stand right in front of us. That means they may be among us, but we cannot detect them, as we do not have the ability to recognize or identify them. Another possibility is that their signals and ours may not be in the same range. Our receivers are not able to receive signals from space culture that is of a higher standard or lower technology than ours. Or it could be the other way around. Another thing about signals is that maybe everyone on the outer space is listening to our signals, but they choose not to respond. However, the reason for their silence is still a mystery. What if we are searching in the wrong place? It is known that all the researches that we have conducted so far have been focused on planets, because we have come to the conclusion that life only exists on planets with terrestrial conditions. But that can never be said to be true, because there are thousands of species living on our small planet that are able to sustain extreme temperatures, pressures, and cold. They live in adverse conditions that are even unheard of by humans. Aliens who are more intelligent and civilized than us do not have to live on planets full of rocks and lakes. They might be floating in giant spaceships like we see in some Hollywood movies. So maybe we're looking at all the wrong directions. Perhaps this is due to Darwin's theory of evolution, which states that only the fittest will survive. Even if life had existed on other planets, they might have faced extinction by now. They may have become victims of natural disasters. Disasters that have not yet passed are still waiting for us. What if we're looking for ourselves? What if the space creatures had deposited all kinds of genetic material suitable to earthly characteristics after all those tests? If so, can't we just be their experimental objects? Or what if we are their generation that stayed here to live with all the living things on Earth? If so, are we looking for ourselves? We know that the universe is so vast that it would take 4 or 5 years for a radio transmission we send today to reach our nearest star, and then decades or millennia would have elapsed before an alien civilization would accept our signals and reply to it. So it's futile to worry that we have not received any answer till now. We still need to wait. Perhaps the simplest answer to the question of alien intelligence is to believe that there is no such thing, or that outer space life is so rare to be discovered. This is because it's absolutely impossible for the unique conditions that created the first form of life on Earth to be reconstructed elsewhere. If so, we might be the only pulse of life in this vast universe. But these are just our assumptions, and sometimes the reality is far beyond that. For now, let them remain in the movies and books until we get an answer.